Hello students, Jai Hind, Vande Mataram. Once again welcome back to your class Ravisirjee Maths, the easiest and finest way to learn the concepts of mathematics from standard 9 to 12th. Students, in our previous video lecture we have studied about inverse of sine functions. We have learned how to plot the graph of sine function and how to plot the graph of sine inverse. So students, in our today video lesson we are going to learn about how to plot the graph of cos function and cos inverse. Students, if you are new to this channel, just subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell icon. Okay students, let us see the information about cos function. What is cos function? Students, we know that there are so many functions which are many one functions, but in some cases these functions are 1 1 and onto. If the function is 1 1 and onto, then inverse of that function is possible. Same things we have discussed in sine, and we are going to discuss in the cos also. Okay students, here we can see that we know that cos defined R to R is many one function. What is cos defined? R to R is many one function, and the range of cosine is what? -1 to 1. Range of cos function is -1 to 1. So cos function can be defined like that way, x y, right? This is what? X is domain and y is what? About range. So y is equal to cos x. So the function which can be written in form of y is equal to fx, that function is onto function, where x belongs to all real number and y belongs to -1 to 1. -1 to 1 is many one function and onto function with period. At which period? The limitation is over here. This is 1 1 function, but onto in some cases the case is what? 2 pi. Means 2 pi. After 2 pi the path will be, if you plot the graph of cos function, the path will be repeated. Means it will trace its path. Means same kinds of waves occur. So we know that the domain of cosine, we can take the domain of cosine 0 to pi, where 0 to pi, pi to 2 pi, and 2 pi to 3 pi. So these terms can be generalized like that way, k pi. If you are putting k means belongs to 0, you are putting k is either negative integer or positive integer, you will get the range like that way. Okay students, so let us plot the graph of these things, x axis and y axis. Here students, you can see that y is equal to cos x, y is equal to cos x. So x is what? Input, and y is what? Output. So x belongs to what? All real, where y belongs to -1 to 1. Means if you are putting 0, so obviously you are going to get the cos 0. If you are putting x is equal to 0, so you will get cos 0. The value of cos 0 is what? 1. So then if you are putting pi, the cos pi is what? 0. Cos pi is what? 0. So there will be, if you are putting pi by 2, sorry, cos 0 is what? 1. Cos pi by 2 is 0, so it will be over here. Cos pi, it will be cos pi will be what? -1. Cos pi will be what? -1. So the point will be over here. Then cos 3 pi by 2, the cos 3 pi by 2 is 0. Then cos 2 pi, the cos 2 pi is what? 1. So if we plot this graph in this way, okay students, so we are getting wave in positive x direction. Similarly, if you will input will be negative integers, means from we have substituted 0 to pi, pi to 2 pi, and 2 pi to 3 pi. Similarly, there may be 0 to minus pi, and minus pi to minus 2 pi, and minus 2 pi to 3 pi, because k belongs to z, integer, and integer includes 0 as well, positive number and negative numbers. So similarly, students, if you are putting what, minus pi by 2, the cos minus pi by 2 will be 0. If you are putting cos in this way, minus pi, the cos minus pi is what, always minus 1. If you are putting cos 3 pi by 2, cos 3 pi by 2 will be 0. So the x will be, right student? And if you are putting cos 2 pi, so the value of x is equal to 2 pi, the value of y will be what, minus 1, plus 1. The value of y will be plus 1, so point will be over here. Okay students, if we will join these points together, we will getting the graph. So this graph is having same path from 2 pi to minus 2 pi, 2 pi to minus 2 pi, right students? So after, means 0 से 2 pi, then 0 to minus 2 to 0. So students, in this range the graph is repeating its path, means same kinds of waves occurring. So students, this function is what, 1 1 function. So if the function is 1 1 on top, then inverse is possible. So we know that whenever the function, a function having inverse, the domain of the function, if you want to find out the inverse of the function, the domain of that function will be converted into what, codomain, and codomain will be converted into domain, right student? So here you can see that if you want to find out cos inverse, so cos inverse, the element in the form of y and x, initially it was in the form of x and y, means y is equal to cos x, so x belongs to what, 0 to pi, and y will be what, minus 1 to 1. So initially x was 0 to pi and y was minus 1 to 1. Y is equal to what, cos inverse cos x. So we want to find out cos inverse y. What do we want to find out? Cos inverse y. So the domain of cos inverse will be what, minus 1 to 1. Initially the domain was what, the domain was 0 to pi and its range was minus 1 to 1, but you are finding the cos inverse, so the domain will be become range and range will be become domain. So cos inverse will be, the domain of cos inverse will be minus 1 to 1 and its range will be 0 to pi. So cos inverse, we know that cos inverse x is equal to x, and cos into cos inverse is what, again x. So students, according to this one, this is what, domain. Domain means what, component of x element, and range is what, the image of domain in codomain. Range is what, image of domain in codomain. So image is 0 to pi, means this is second component, y component. So students, all these things we will substitute on x-axis and these things we will substitute on y-axis. If we are getting the order pair, the order pair will be in the form of, first 0 to, on x-axis, right, these will be on what, x-axis, and these will be on y-axis. So here students, the positive x and negative x, suppose this is 0, if you are moving to this side, this represent positive integers and here it represent negative integers. So 1 to minus 1 to 1, right students? According to this one, y is equal to cos inverse x, y is equal to cos inverse x. If you are putting x is equal to 1, right, y is equal to cos inverse, this is what, 1. So cos inverse cos 0, cos will be cancelled out, what is our output? 0. Means if you are putting x is equal to 1, y is what? 0. So this point is 1 and 0. Similarly students, if you are putting y in this equation cos inverse x, if you are putting x is equal to -1, so y will be what? Cos inverse -1. What is -1? So we know that cos inverse, the value of this value will be of what? Cos inverse -1 means what, students? This is the value of minus pi by 2. So cos will be cancelled out, so y will be minus pi by 2. It means students, if you are taking x is equal to -1, the y coordinate will be pi by 2. So another point we are getting over here, and this is what? This is a point of, this is x is 0 and y is what, student? This is 90 degree, right? This will be pi by 2. So in this way we are plotting the cos inverse, the graph of cos inverse function, right students? So students, here we are completing today video lesson. I hope you have understood. For more video lesson of this chapter, keep watching your channel Ravisirjee Maths. Thank you once again.